heard this is the biggest council meeting y'all had in a while.
It is. It's wonderful.
I'm assuming a lot of these people here are not happy that I'm maybe coming into the area. I can understand some of your problems because RV parks are kind of got a bad rap anyway, and trailer parks, and that's why I was picking the bluegrass thing. I don't want like a regular RV park, and I'm sure you guys don't particularly want that, but anyway.
We don't want an old folks home either.
Well, there you go, okay.
Council, do you have any questions for Mr. Nelson? Mr. Nelson, can you share your your view with the citizens before they come up and
Is
speak?
Mr. Pruitt here? He's one of my neighbors. Mr. Pruitt, you come? Oh, there he is, okay. I tried to talk to all the neighbors. I wanted to try to get along with everybody, and I told Mr. Pruitt he's allowed to still shoot deer on the land there and everything, and I'm trying to be a good neighbor the best I can. If y'all would only talk to me a little bit, well, maybe I could kind of do some of the matters and see what I can do about making everybody happy. Obviously, I did not want to come here for everybody to hate. I mean, I thought I had a good idea, and I just wanted to.
Can I ask you a question?
Excuse me?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
Your idea kind of tickled the hell out of me. I
Oh.
like it.
Well.
But how many times a week are you going to do this entertainment?
Well, it depends on the people, and it's not going to happen overnight because it's kind of like a tour. They'll go to, like there may be Oakdale Park and Glen Rose, and then they'll come over and
So
do
it's
different.
not going to be an every night deal.
Excuse me? No, it won't be. It's going to be on the weekend, and like most of them, they shut down about 10 o'clock because of the noise and whatever. But another reason I picked bluegrass, because I love it particularly, but also because it's acoustic.
I wish you
Being
luck.
acoustic, you don't have a lot of loud amplifiers and things.
Good luck to you.
But like I say, if any of the neighbors would just talk to me, and I've already talked to some of them and tried to work with them the best way I knew how, but a lot of them not giving me much input, so.
You have a question over there.
Oh,
Can I ask you a question? Do you have a model of an RV park that you're, say, looking to model your place after?
Yeah, I have a few
I know
diagrams,
there's
yeah.
some of the KOAs are really nice, and then again, you got the opposite end of the spectrum that,
Yeah, I do have a few things. I plan on doing several sheds around. They're like little jam sheds where you jam sessions, like play banjo and guitar in different sheds around in the area. So that way, no matter how bad the weather is, you're allowed to, pick and grin a little bit. And possibly a main stage if it's in an area according to what the neighbors can allow and they think they can live with. It would be like in a main stage area where there would also be bands, larger bands coming out. Some famous, depending on if I can afford that, how famous they are, but I've got a lot of friends that play bluegrass and country and old-timey music. As a matter of fact, a lot of people I know, some country musicians play at Springtown. They have a large, what is that? Springtown.
the Lions Club, a couple places, yes.
So there's some people who could play. Of course, like I say, when you go talk about country music or anything like that, then you're talking about amplifiers, PAs, and all that. But depending on the noise and what's allowed.
Mr. Hall.
Let me stand up so people can hear me a little better. I don't normally have a problem with projecting my voice, I have a question for you. We're a smaller community as far as population goes, but a very large community as far as landmass goes. Our city facilities and our city staff is not what you find in like Fort Worth or Grapevine. What do you plan on doing to help ease traffic congestion if it comes to that point? Do you have any plans in the works of maybe hiring extra staff to help with traffic control and things out on our city streets?
Well, if I was asked to do whatever I could do, I'll figure out a way to do it, but I'm not exactly knowing. Are you talking about just on J. Bird Lane, or?
Where it impacts the
Where
citizens?
I'm at, okay,
Yes.
okay. I've had a guy from TxDOT come out. He actually come out and told me exactly where I could put the driveway at and set it in an area where you can see around the curve one way and over the hill the other way. And he said right there, and that's where you can do it, so. Because it is it's a Texas highway, it's not
Yeah.
a road or street.
Mayor, can I
Yes,
ask
sir.
a question? It's a question of Scott, actually. Is Scott here?
He's hiding.
Scott, is this property at all in a restricted area of wetlands that would include the Army Corps would have to be involved in?
No, it's all, there's no flood zone or nothing down to there.
That's
It's all
good.
open.
Thank you.
It
Okay.
actually has a bunch of dry creek and gulches in the back. It's like land that's not there, it's just big holes. I was possibly gonna do maybe like a 3 or 4 acre lake back there, fishing lake. But, leave an area where the deer, so good, hunt deer and stuff.
How many acres is there?
It's 14.65, I think.
And how many spaces are you looking at having?
That's kind of determined by the neighbors and council, and everything I'm gonna do in stages, and I will work with everyone here as I do another stage, and diagrams, and we can sit around and we can talk about what would be a good way to do it.
Are you gonna live on the property as well?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so I have to say, I've been around a lot of RV parks and just, rolling my fifth wheel from here to there. And really, a park's not about the way it looks. It's about who's running it and his heart or their heart and how much time they put into it.
Are you going to allow alcohol to be out there?
Excuse me?
Alcohol?
No.
No alcohol is
No.
going to be allowed?
Bluegrass music has kind of got close ties with religious music also.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that or not, so I don't.
There was a lady right over here that you got.
It was a question of how many spaces.
Oh, I'm sorry.
but
Okay.
she-
Do you have an approximate of how many spaces that you would plan to put on the property?
I think total, there's about 38, 40.
In the law, at the end, correct?
Yeah, that's like the last phase, and some of them are in and out spaces, because I plan on having a lot of people from the Speedway that would come in. This park would be actually closer to Texas Speedway than some of the other parks on the other side of Eagle Mountain.
Okay. Yes.
And they'll be in and out.
I've attended a lot of these bluegrass concerts and country settings that you want to refer to them as. Who's actually going to stand there and control that there is no alcohol?
Especially the road, especially the Speedway crew.
Well, I intend to hire some security.
Okay, you missed my question. Who's going to make sure it's not happening? You or our police department?
No, it's not their responsibility, it'd be mine, and I would do that.
Then how?
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 Well,
Like I said, I've
short of
attended
beating
these.
people up, you just gotta talk as much as you can, and when that don't work, then you just have to look for other avenues, but,
But what guarantee are you giving us that it's not going to be there?
of course, people can talk, they can drink alcohol in their RV or in their little, yard. But when they get out of hand, they get out of hand, no matter what it is, whether it's smoking a joint or whatever, you don't do it. It's just not heard of. And if it's against the law, they won't do it. If it's okay with the law, they can do it as long as they, keep manners about it.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more question before we go back to the list because people want to speak. Yes, ma'am. You had your hand up a while.
Yeah, so while you've been traveling around and you're fifth wheel here and there, and you're thinking about a lake, you're not sure how many spots you have, and maybe you'll have some sheds here and there, do you have a business plan? What is your background? Do you have a business plan? Do you know exactly what you're gonna do? You're just flying by the seat of your pants.
Well, I used to be a pilot and I flew by the seat of my pants. I don't know about this. Yeah, my name is Rick Nelson and I know I died in a plane crash, but.
That's my question is, what is your plan? Where's your business model? You're
Well,
fixing
I've
to be a
got some
businessman.
diagrams here and it's all up in here and I have other people that are helping me. I mean, it's just not all me.
Are they here? Do they have a plan? Do
No,
they have a
actually,
business
I
model
see
to
no
show
one
us?
here in my defense at all tonight. And I was hoping I moved to next area, but I feel a little bit like Barney right now.
Please
I
take
will
that into
save you for a
consideration.
moment.
There's no real concrete plan here, not a business model, and you're fixing to be a businessman.
I have a diagram of things, and I know how it's gonna be, and I have people helping me. And,
So you don't have a business plan?
Okay.
No business plan? No business model? No
I don't have, you don't have models of RV parks, I don't think.
Yeah.
Large building projects.
Okay, you answered my question, thank you.
Okay. We're gonna go back to the list, Mr. Nelson, if that's okay. And if you want to stay up front here, if you want to speak again afterwards, that's fine. But yes, for just a few minutes. And if you have your diagrams and you want to show people that, or the people would like to see it. Okay.